What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, we got another review for you today. It's on a fixed blade, and pretty excited for this one because it's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse of what I normally would review, just because I'm not super familiar with the blade shape. But guys, it is on a Tops knife, and it is the Tops knife Trailhead Kukri, designed by Jason Swain. Guys, check this thing out, man. This thing is pretty nice, man. I'm digging it. Been kind of playing around with it for a little bit. Checking it out, trying to get a good feel for it, and I'm digging it. But before we get to the full review, guys, I do have to have a quick word from our sponsor. Guys, Wicked Wax is an official sponsor of Straight Edge Knives, guys. I love their products. I use them all the time. I use Wicked Clean after I do my reviews to clean up my blades. Then I use Wicked Wax to keep them protected. And then at the end of the day, my hands and knuckles are busted up from chopping on wood, playing with knives. I'll utilize Wicked Rescue to help my hands heal up. Guys, they're great products. They're all made here in the USA. They work fantastic. I've been using them for a long time, even well before they ever became a sponsor of the channel. And totally great, awesome products. Fred over there is doing a good job with this stuff. You're going to start seeing this stuff pop up more and more and more, guys, because it's Wicked Wax it's a product that works, and it's a growing business, and you're going to start seeing this popping up in a lot of places. So go hit that link below to find out more information. Wicked Industries, right down in the description somewhere. Go check them out, guys. Thank you, Wicked Wax, for sponsoring the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Now let's get back to the review, right? So, again, this is the Tops Knives Trailhead Kukri. It is, basically Jason, after talking to him, he likes kukris, but then he also likes karambits, and somehow he said, let's meld them together. And so now we have a kukri karambit, if you will, right? So, but man, this thing's got a pretty generous ring on here. I got, like I said, you guys know I got big old fat meat paw fingers. I can get my hand in here, and I can come in and do the cool kid flippity flips, right? Hand fits in there pretty good. Gives nice retention. My pinky goes in here really well. And again, the one thing I really look for on ring knives is how is it really displacing my finger when I have my finger in there. And if you guys look, this feels like a natural fist, I've had some where my freaking pinky is way down here out of alignment, or in the reverse grip, my finger is super out of alignment. It doesn't feel natural, and that bugs me. But with the way they kind of have this angle here, the generous size ring, I actually feel like it's a pretty standard. When I've got my fist, I don't feel completely out of place. But the nice thing about this is with the handle size too, is you don't even have to use the ring. You can actually just get a really nice grip on it like this. With this little ring kind of hump here, it's not really putting your hand out of place or anything like that. It feels like it's just a natural grip. So it's pretty cool because you can kind of use it both ways. It doesn't really matter. And, you do have this little retention here. Like I said, if you're out hunting, doing some field game dressing, stuff like that, you can let go and grab stuff. And, oh, yeah, you're not going to drop your knife. So very cool. I dig it. You do have this nice little notch up here at the top that you can use, you're out camping. You can get your pot off the fire, move it around. You're boiling water to cook some food or something. Get that pot off, not worry about, burning your hands or anything like that. Because, who remembers to take a pot holder out when they go hiking and hunting and things like that, right? This does have a really, I don't want to say aggressive forward cant. This actually is, I actually really like the way this is canted forward, because it gives this a good, if you got to come in and do some quick little hits or chops like that for some of that, cool karambit stuff, it's there. But you're looking at it and you're like, well, what if I got to, go straight into something? Well, look at how this is, curved forward. If I go straight out, look at that's a straight out. It's weird. It's like you got this really weird kind of cant, not weird, but you got this really aggressive forward cant. But if you go to stab out, it's going straight at you. So I think it's a really naturally intuitive kind of bam. You can go in and poke, or you can come in and do some good slashes, and so for those self-preservation, karambit style stuff, I mean, it seems like it's going to fit the bill for that as well. But you're also going to get a little bit good chopping. You got this nice big belly here. It's a really interesting kukris. We all know are really great for chopping, right? Big kukris, they're beast choppers, and it's kind of cool that now you got like a smaller karambit style kukri here, and it's an interesting meld, right? I'm digging it, man. And because I feel like, not only for self-preservation stuff against zombies, but like for camping and things like this, seems like it's going to be a very capable blade. And we're going to find out when we get over to the testing area. But I mean, you got this nice little area up here that you could do some chopping with, right? You had to come in and do some chopping, choke back, get your chopping done up here. But you're going to be able to save this lower portion of the blade right here for your final work. You got to get in there and make your tent stakes or fire curls and things like that. I'm like looking at this like kind of doing some draw cut or pull cuts, if you will. You're going to come in there and be able to hook stuff and cut it pretty easily. Obviously, be careful that you don't cut yourself. But I mean, it's just the natural feel of this. It just seems right somehow, and I can't explain it any better than that. Because again, I don't have a ton of experience with karambits and or kukris. So this is kind of interesting because it's making me deal with both, and I appreciate that. So definitely very cool. But let's get over the specs on this, guys. Oh, there's to point out here, guys. You do have some nice scallops here on both sides, so you got to come in and do some pinch gripping, do that fine cutting. So this is the Tops Knives Trailhead Kukri, designed by Jason Swain. Overall, you're looking at 9.25 inches. You have a blade length of 4.75. You have a cutting edge of 4.38 because you do have a little bit of a sharpening choil down here, if you will. So from here to here, you're looking at 4.38. You have a thickness of 0.16, so it's beefy, but it's not overly thick. It's 1095 high carbon steel with the heat treatment of the differential heat treat. I had a brain fart, guys. You have the differential heat treat that Tops does so well with their 1095, and you're getting a 56 to 58 Rockwell hardness. This does come with a sniper gray Cerakote, black canvas micarta handles. The weight on this, you're looking at 6.4 ounces, and with the sheath, you're looking at 9.6 ounces. So this is actually a good sized blade. Okay, you're looking at almost 10 inches, 9.25, and it's coming in at 6.4 ounces. So this isn't a heavy blade, like for the size of it. Oops, dropped that. Trying to do the balancing. So your balance, obviously, because you have a front heavy blade, it's probably more like right here, right where this kind of guard comes down. But I can't balance on that, but feels like it's right about here somewhere. So it's just kind of with this front heavy blade, it's a little hard to balance it out. But I mean, it's got a really nice balance to it. It feels good. Again, ring grip or standard grip, you can kind of come in and do all your good stuff. You can even come in and maybe if you had to crack a coconut, you could flip it over, kind of use this little spot right here and just kind of, get a little coconut crack there. Very cool. So let's get over to the testing area because, that's where the rubber meets the road, right? And let's see what I can do with this, guys. Like, again, I'm not, how do you take a kukri and make it for a smaller task? I'm not sure. We're going to find out. I'm pretty sure it's doable though, but definitely cool. I'm digging it, guys. So let's get over to the testing area, try it out. All right, everybody, we're over here at the testing area. Let's get this kukri out, show it to you in the light. Look at this. Boom, see that sniper gray popping off, all clandestine looking. Very, very cool. Again, man, I'm just kind of, something about this just kind of channeling my inner Tactical Tavern right now. I'm just kidding. My boy Tomas over there at Tactical Tavern. If you guys aren't following him, you need to. He's an awesome guy. But let's get to this, man. We definitely want to see what this thing can do. First, I gotta clean my stump off a little bit. I have some brick pieces and concrete on the top of my log here from the video I was doing with a cleaver the other day. So let's get in here, kind of come in. Let's see what kind of stabbing penetration we can get with this. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna lock my finger in the ring. We're just gonna kind of Tip is just barely right there. So we got a good halfway through that catalog, maybe even almost 3/4 through. Let's try this again. Like punch through, it's backed up a little bit, but again, about halfway through the catalog. So that's a pretty good penetration, because if you think about it, look at how wide this gets. So get about halfway through that catalog, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get a little corner chop going here on this. So this is interesting, because I gotta figure out this angle for these corners, but let's see if we can get a little one of those cool little corner chops going here. Let's turn this around. Got a piece of paper sticking out. See how my aim is. Oh, not bad. Oh, there it goes. Caught the edge there. Look at that. Took it off. Pretty good, not bad. Made a little bit of a mess, which is kind of fun. That's what we like to do, right? So I can tell you guys, because this is a 9.6 ounce blade, it's not a big heavy chopper. So when you're coming in and doing some of these whip chops, it's not a lot of weight behind it. So you're gonna have to put a little bit of extra into it, or possibly, we'll see when we get to the wood, but like with those corner chops, sometimes I can get all the way through the corner pretty easy. But because this is so much lighter, I would have to put a lot more oomph into it to get it to push through all of that catalog. So it's not designed to be a big giant chopper, but it's designed to do some light EDC chopping tasks, right? So keep that in mind. So let's get some of our testing stuff out here. Where is it? The good old fire hose, guys. So the fire hose, this is one thing I like to cut, guys, because it's always a difficult thing to cut for a knife. It's made to go through car wreckage, broken glass, all that stuff. It's abrasive to a knife edge because there's dirt kind of impregnated into this cloth just from years of use. You got 2 layers of canvas, and then you got a layer of rubber that's glued to the inside. So again, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to cut, but we're gonna see if we can cut a piece of this off. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. He's trying to use that big belly, get those nice big cuts. Kind of come in here too with the back part of the blade. Hose is falling off the stump. There we go. A little bit different cutting with this big old kind of recurve. It's like I'm cutting here, and then it starts to slip down onto the bottom part of the edge, which is good, but it's not something I'm used to. And so it kind of throws me off a little bit. So I would say, at least for me with this kukri, it's a little bit of a learning curve for me. Oops, this is spot. Bam, there you go. So it cut through pretty good. I think the more I get used to using this, the more I get, because I'll show you. So I start to cut through, it's cutting, and then boom, it dips, right? So it throws me off a little bit because I'm not used to using it, but that's not, maybe I should have just concentrated on this one spot right here or something like that. But come in, stab through the fire hose, not a problem. Oh, there went a little piece. Got a pretty nice little cut there. Nice little cut there. Again, this isn't a big blade, so it's not like a giant chopper, so you got to come in and you're not going to get that big one-shot cut. But doing a pretty good job cutting through that. Not bad. Like I said, it's not a big, heavy knife. Here is a piece of... This is a pressure washer hose. This is rated to 3,100 psi. It's got an inner kind of nylon layer in there, so it's pretty obviously it's meant to not rupture or bust. So if you had to come in here, chop a piece of this off, choke back a little bit, there it goes, there it goes. Or you can come in, do your nice little press cut a piece off. Where'd it go? It fell off. Cut another one off. Yeah, there we go. Cut another piece off, come in here, do a press cut down through. Press cut is a little bit harder to do on air compressor hose, or not air compressor, pressure washer hose, because And the reason why I was cutting this in half is I wanted you guys to see. So there's actually 3 parts to this. So you have an outer sleeve, you have this hard nylon inner sleeve, and then you have this kind of cut abrasion resistant inner nylon part. So definitely makes it a little bit harder to press cut down through, but that's why I wanted to do it. I want to get down there, get that pressure on there. But yeah, you know, if you had to come in and cut some of that stuff up, you definitely can. Get this other way. Let's say you're out and about on a wild adventure and somebody got hurt. You got to check their leg to make sure that they're not, you know, bleeding out or anything like that, right? So we got a pair of, you know, just standard jeans here. Come in here, cut the jeans off, check their leg, make sure that they're going to be okay. They're going to be able to walk out and survive. Pants are at an awkward angle here. I'm having some awkward angle issues today. There we go. Bam. Nice slice right there. Getting into the reinforced stitching on the leg. Cut right through it like that. Bam. Not a problem. Come in here. But yeah. I mean, that's some really clean cuts. Bam. So, again, with this really big kind of recurve on this karambit, not karambit, kukri, what I'm seeing for me happening is as I come in and slice through, it just rolls right through. So I could see, like, if you're in there and you had to do some maybe some skin and some caping, like that's going to be able to kind of come in there and work that blade nice and fine and help get you those nice clean cuts that you don't accidentally, you know, mess up your meat. Bam. So yeah, if you had to come in, cut up some pants, help somebody out in a situation, definitely can do that. As far as cutting rope goes, kind of come in here on the back, boom, right there, cutting through, not a problem. Wow, look at that. Yeah, if you had to come in and chop a piece in half, there's one piece. I pretty much got through that second one on that one hit, but it kind of got caught just a little bit because, again, when you're chopping, you're kind of just right here. Okay, so if you got to do a chop, you're looking at, this is your spot, because as I come down, you come down, look at where you're hitting right here. All this right here, this little spot, that's your chopping area. Because back here, you'd have to come all the way down like this, and then you're running the risk of busting your knuckles. So, you know, if you got something like, you had like, if I had like a row of these lined up, I would not be able to chop through all of them at once. Like 2 is probably, see, like I was able to get through on this one, and then I kind of got the back part of this one. But I think with some careful aiming and planning, I think we can get through 2, guys. And that's my goal here. I want to get through these. So, oh, almost. So let's try it one more time. Oh, got both of them that time. Again, kind of just hung up on that last one. But if you had to come in, chop a rope, definitely could. Where'd my sissy rope go? Oh, there it is. So this is that bigger, thicker sissy rope. Guys, you know this stuff is a pain in the butt to cut. Again, this lighter knife, I don't know if we're going to be able to get a good solid, like, one-shot clean cut through, but let's see. Well, we got some off. Oh, look at that. Pretty good, pretty good. There we go. So this is, I think, look at, that's a thick rope, guys. So again, for a lighter blade, that's pretty good. Let's say you had to come in and you had to cut some extension cord for whatever reason, right? You had some extension cord. Here's a wire. There's 3 pieces of copper in there. You had to come in, whatever reason. Little zombie Jimmy wasn't following proper safety protocols on his electrical job, and now you got to cut this cord so he doesn't cook himself. Bam, right there. Quick cut, Jimmy saved, right? Or if you had to come in and let's say you had to strip this wire to repair it, again with this nice edge down here, I haven't been hitting this edge because all the chopping's been going on here. You can come in here, roll into there, start stripping your wire, make your repairs. You know, get into your wire, start making your repairs, and you got a nice sharp edge to be able to do that down there. So there you go. You can do stuff like that. And there we go. I'm out of ratchet strap, and I think I'm out of paracord, but we can pretty much assume we can cut the ratchet strap and paracord. So let's get into the wood stuff, guys. So again, you're out and camping. Again, you can use, I keep saying again for some reason, you can utilize this lower part of the blade right here to make your fire curls. Come in here. I always wind up cutting them off though. That's my problem. But I am still getting some nice shavings. As long as they don't go flying off anywhere. So you can see there, got some curls there. These are the ones that kind of cut off on me. But that's why I prefer to do mine this way. I'll stick the knife in here. I come in. Oh, that one came off. Look at those curls, guys. Definitely make some nice ones. Definitely make some nice fire curls. So it's nice, like I said, you can use this front part for chopping and save this back part for some of your final work. Let's say, like I said, you got to just say you want to get in here and chop this down a little bit. Chop the chunks off like so. Get those little bits off. Like I said, this thing is pretty quick, guys, because it's so light. Come in there, like I said, do your chops there. You still got your finer part of your blade. Make your fire curls. Like so. Bam, ready to rock and roll. Let's see, do I have a stick in here that I can, or if you had to break down some smaller sticks to, you know, to make kindling and stuff like that, come here. Chop through, utilizing the front part of this blade. So let's check this edge. I don't see any chipping or rolling. You guys can see where I'm doing the brunt of the chopping at right there. And then, like, again, look at the back. So it's cool because you got a good chopping wheel portion, you got a good fine portion, right? So if you had to come in, here's an old stick. It's not very thick. Come in like that. Come in here. You got to strip this off. Utilize that back port, that smaller back portion. Come in here, slice this puppy down. Make yourself a nice fishing spear, frog poker, vampire steak. You know, easily come in and shave that stuff down. That's a little thin right there, so let's cut this down a little bit. All right, so now we got a vampire steak. Now let's cut this off and make a tent steak. So cut that down. So now you got a decent sized tent steak. You need to make a notch. We'll come in here, roll this blade in. Again, utilizing that part that we haven't been chopping with because it's a sharper area, right? I like to get it down to there. And then I will take this top part, kind of cut those off. And bam, now we got a notch. You guys can see that? We can stick this in the ground, tie our paracord around it. Our tent ain't going nowhere. So for like a lot of lighter tasks, EDC type of stuff, definitely the Trailhead Kukri is going to be able to handle that. I'm going to tell you, like, just from the little bit of chopping I've done with this on this stick, let's do some more. This isn't a chopper, guys. It's just not the weight of it. I mean, it is a light chopper. Let me put you that way. You're going to come in and you're going to try to chop through some bigger, heavier stuff, like say like this. It's going to take you a little bit of time, just because the weight's not there to help that part. But what this part does do is it does help you with like smaller chopping tasks like this. You know what I mean? Come in, definitely do a lot of your smaller camp tasks. Right now, I'm chopping right into a knot right there. If you guys can see that. So it does help you kind of come in here, do your light chopping, do your finer work, stuff like that. Now, if you had to use it to do some batoning, I'm pretty sure we can, because this is the tops, guys, with that heat treat, and you have a nice kind of swedge here. So this is a piece of seasoned almond wood, not super thick. There's a pretty nasty knot right there. Again, batoning is one of those things where it's not necessarily recommended. It's one of those things where it's kind of a last ditch effort type thing. If you have other means of splitting your wood, by all means use it. If you have an axe, silky saw, whatever, by all means do that. This would be like, I have no other option, right? So always keep that in mind. But it is nice to see a knife do it, so that way if you have to, you know you can. So right now I kind of got down into that bottom part, so you can see that the guard right there is about to hit. So I'm going to back this up just a little bit, get our wamping stick and drive on through. Just broke that piece off, and then I kind of got right there into that knot just now. So you could definitely come in here and do a little bit of batoning. I would say bam, right there. Like it kind of split through that knot. So if you had to come in, do some batoning, you can. It's going to do a decent job of doing the lighter stuff. Again, I wouldn't suggest going, you're not going to come in and baton through this guy. I mean, you just don't even, realistically, you don't even have the space to do it with the size of the blade. If you look, you're going to run out of room to hit really quick as you get down through here. So definitely wouldn't suggest batoning through any larger pieces. I'd keep it to stuff like this if you had to do it. Or, like 4x4, 2x4 size pieces of wood. That would be, I don't think, really too much of an issue. Bam. So yeah, you can definitely come in and do some batoning with it if you can. Guys, to me, this is really a great knife for, like, again, your just kind of EDC task, your everyday, maybe camp chores, things like that. Like I said, food prep, you could come in here, dice up some onions, some cilantro, whatever, you can come in there, utilize this as a steak knife too, you need it to. As far as self-preservation goes, I'm not an expert in that, but man, I could definitely see if you came across some zombie like that. I mean, you're going to catch on. This is just going to sweep through, leave a large gaping zombie hole. Coming in, having to poke that zombie, bam! It's a straight shot. Pow, got him. Pow, got him like this. I mean, you could do those like whip cuts. Pow, right? I mean, it's not going to be a fun day for anybody, any zombie, in that case. But overall, guys, cool knife, man. Cool camp knife. Cool EDC. Like I said, you can utilize it for all your EDC stuff, opening boxes, doing some light chopping, light work. I mean, it's just the fidget factor of this. It's just like sit here all day and just pay attention, though. You don't want to actually come across and get your arm. But like I said, doing light wood, doing some small bush crafting type of stuff. Oh, that was one thing I did want to try, guys. I'm sorry, before I forget. I did want to see, like, if I came in and I was able to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, that actually feels really good. Kind of get the stick up here, and you got to come slow, guys, because you don't want to slip and come up and like cut your finger off. Or but check that out. And I would like to point out that I did baton through 2 pieces of seasoned almond wood, and a lot of that batoning went right through this area that we would, you know, utilize to keep a little sharper. And it's still pulling off some nice curls. Look at that. Cool. So it's actually a really good. Let's try it the other way though. Because I'm trying to kind of thinking of this like in a tracker sense. Like, can we utilize a small transition spot right here to make see, I have a hard time going this way because I might have, but this way feels a little bit more controllable for me. So that's just a me thing. Maybe it's not a you thing. But guys, Jason Swain did a bang up job mixing two basic kind of knife designs together. And I don't want to say basic knives, they're not basic. The kukri and the karambit are both very unique, and both serve very, I want to say specific purposes, but they serve, you know, kukris are really good for chopping, things like that. Karambits are really good for self-preservation and things like that. And to be able to combine the two into a functional tool, pretty impressive, guys. I'm digging this thing. It's very fun. Like I said, for EDC type of stuff, if you need like a little bit larger blade for your everyday carry task, you know, you need some light chop, you know, something that can do some light chopping, but also do some finer work. You know, the Trailhead Kukri is definitely something to look at. And there's just a cool factor to it, guys. You got to always take that into account, right? Knives are tools, they're functional and things, but come on, we like to have that cool factor too, guys. And so if you're out and about and somebody says, hey, somebody got a knife, and you're like, I got you, and then you pull this out, you're going to get a little bit of that, hey, what's that, right? And that's always kind of fun. You're like, well, it's Trailhead Kukri from Tops Knives. You know, well, check this out, guys, right? So the cool factor is definitely there as well. So guys, for a functional camp EDC knife, check out the Trailhead Kukri. I'm digging it. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this mashup of a karambit and a kukri together. You know, what do you think about it? Leave a comment down below. Greatly appreciate it. All right, everybody. Stay safe. Stay sharp. We'll see you on the next one.